Well, the crypto craze continues as we are seeing a lot of green throughout the market to begin this Sunday. And in today's video, I want to talk about what we're seeing in the market, but more specifically focusing on XLM and HBAR because they are absolutely smashing it, both up over 20% within the last 24 hours, and they are doing very similar things right now. So in today's video, we're going to do a brief overview of the market. I'm going to then zoom into XLM and HBAR. I'm going to show you what they're doing. I'm going to warn you about what I'm seeing right now and tell you what I'm expecting next. So we got a good bit to get into today. So let's do it. And guys, do not forget that if you want to sign up to the link down below to BTCC and start trading on their exchange today, you're going to get up to $10,000 in bonuses and up to 40% lower trading fees only if you use my link down below. So feel free to check that out and let me know what you think. So as I mentioned before, the crypto market, guys, it's sending. HBAR, Algo, Pingu, XLM, IOTA, MOG, and many more absolutely pumped over 16 to 35%. And even some of your ones that are underperforming, like Ondo or CRV or ENA, they're still up anywhere from 6 to 8%. It's been a beautiful day. We got Bitcoin absolutely pushed up right now. We can see this bad boy is currently right around the $118,000 to $119,000 level, still pushing up towards all-time highs, looking pretty good. Now, I do get a little bit concerned because there's not a ton of volume here in the market. Like, this isn't really backed by a ton of volume. And at the same time that is happening, the crypto fear and greed index is currently sat right around a 73, which is greed. But at the end of the day, this is still a beautiful move nonetheless. And it is allowing us to see some juicy gains from XLM and HBAR. As you know, XLM and HBAR are amongst our crypto portfolio. Back in November, December, all the way through February and March, and into April and May, we were doing a lot of dollar cost averaging on the two of them. And well, obviously that's doing well. We actually rotated a good bit back into XLM and HBAR when we did recognize that both of them were creating these descending patterns over the last couple months. And now all those purchases that we were doing back here, well, they're actually adding up and we're seeing some juicy gains. And so again, I want to focus in on both of them in today's video because they're doing almost the same exact thing. Okay, let me give you the story. Let me show you what they're doing before we actually dive into each one. So both XLM and HBAR and XRP, but they're performing better than XRP right now. But both XLM and HBAR started this little move by creating a descending channel, which means that the price was doing this. It was just going lower highs, lower lows in a linear fashion, creating a descending channel. Well, what happened after this descending channel is that they've both now broken out of it and they're up chasing what's called the Fibonacci golden zone. And in this instance, if you don't know what the Fibonacci golden zone is, just know for time's sake, it is a very important zone. If you're under it, you're still kind of bearish. If you're over it, you can shoot up to new all-time highs in price discovery. And they're trying to make their way up to this golden zone right now to determine if they will or will not get rejected by it and start kind of slowing down these gains that they're making right now, or if they're going to break through it and absolutely take off to new all-time highs, right? And so now, kind of knowing the scenario, knowing the context, I want to show you the specific numbers and the data behind HBAR and XLM and start showing you again what they're doing. Now you kind of understand what they're doing, what I'm concerned about, which I'm going to issue a bit of a warning, and what I'm expecting next and doing. Okay, so what we can see, starting off with XLM here, is that XLM made that exact move I told you about. XLM's price was in the descending channel. It broke out the descending channel in pursuit of the golden zone. Remember, the golden zone is the level that will tell you whether or not this thing is going to get a real big rejection back to the downside and slow down all these gains, or if it's going to still be able to, send it upwards, putting XLM in a position to possibly push up towards 85 cents or $1.26, which are beautiful gains. If we look at HBAR, HBAR is in a similar situation. It's just not in the golden zone yet. So XLM had one extra day of pumping than HBAR did, so it got a little bit higher. But as you can see, HBAR is currently right under its golden zone. And if it can break through that golden zone again, it opens it up for a move up towards 55 cents or as high as 83 cents. Okay, so that's what they're doing. They both broke out the descending channel. They're both chasing the golden zone. And the reason I say that, and the reason I'm kind of harping on it so much, is because it's very important. Remember, it's a decision-making zone. And this is about to tell us a lot of whether or not this move for XLM and HBAR is going to continue. Because I think the truth is, that's what many of you are wondering. You're seeing XLM pumping. You're seeing HBAR pumping. You're seeing all of these gains that people are making. You're seeing the gains that the community, like our Discord community is posting. You're seeing all of these things and you're sitting back wondering, okay, is this going to continue or is it going to end, right? Is it too late, basically? That's what a lot of people are wondering. And this is going to be what answers that question for us. What happens here at the Fibonacci golden zone will be the very thing that tells us if it's too late or not. Because the truth is, there is a possibility that this was just a recovery. This was just a retracement. That something like HBAR was just going to run back up to the golden zone, get back rejected, and this was nothing but a recovery bounce. Same thing for XLM. It's very possible. It gets up to this golden zone and comes back down because it was just a recovery bounce. or this bad boy pushes through the golden zone, confirms it wasn't just a recovery bounce, and now we're in position where we can start to see these puppies really running. So this is what answers the question. So fast forwarding to right now, okay, now that you have the context and you understand what they're doing, let me tell you what I'm a little bit concerned about and what's happening as they're making this decision, because these are decisions are being made. So as XLM and HBAR are both getting to or within the golden zone, something is happening that is a little bit short-term concerning. Like in this exact moment right now, it is a little bit concerning, and I wanted to share that with you today. And what this is going to come down to is the battle signals. Okay, as you know, but also before I say this, I am not trying to sell you anything. Don't worry. Okay, but as you all know, I created an indicator. It's called battle signals. I use it here on my channel. It's not for sale or anything like that. But what it does is it tells me who's in control. So it tells me, okay, are the bulls who are pushing the price up, are they in control, or are the bears trying to push the price down? Are they in control? And I like to know who's winning these battles because it tells me if more momentum is slowing down. So say for example, if a crypto is going up and then the bear signal starts popping off, it means that the bears are starting to take a little bit more control. And it's a sign that that pump we're seeing could slow down soon. And what you're going to see is that as H bar is starting to work itself up to the golden zone or the decision making zone, and as XLM is now within the decision making zone, what you're going to see here is that they're both now starting to get the bearish signals. And what this implies, it doesn't mean that, of course, some gigantic crash is on the way, but what it implies is that we're starting to get to that point where we're probably past the best time to be buying, right? When the bearish signals start, showing up during the middle of a pump, it's usually a sign like, it's probably not a great time to be buying. It's probably not a great time to be opening up long trades. Matter of fact, it's oftentimes quite the opposite. Generally speaking, the best times to take profit off the table is when the bear signal pops up. For example, if I show you the last time that the bear signal popped up here for XLM, look at this, right? We got some down here and XLM kept running. Don't get me wrong, but by no means was this the best time to be buying. By no means was this the best time to be buying. And so, yeah, we could see, of course, XLM continue to pump from here. But my whole point of saying this is that these are the first signs, the first early signals that momentum is starting to slow down. And this rocket fuel that we have for XLM and this rocket fuel that we have for H bar could very well be starting to run out. It could be starting to slow down. And so, what does that mean? It means that if you've not got into them and you want to get into them, you should probably take it very slow because now it's getting dangerous. If you're in them already and you're barely up on profits, maybe start getting prepared to put some cash aside to add more in if we do see a pullback. And if you are into them and you have a lot of profit, it's probably a good idea to start slowly taking some profit off the table, which is what I'm doing right now. Because what I know is that when we start to see these things pump and they're running into a massive resistance zone and the bear signals start going off, it's just a sign that there's danger ahead and that pullbacks could be right in front of us. And you need to just be aware and understanding that that is the case. Now, you also compare it with the fact that on our shorter time frames, like the 4 hours, we are getting what's called bearish divergence, which is when the RSI starts falling. Look at how we're seeing XLM, for example's price is going up, but its RSI is falling. That's called bearish divergence. That means it's losing momentum. Look at the same thing for H bar. H bar's price is going up, its RSI is falling. That's bearish divergence. It's a sign that momentum is slowing down. And so all of these things say that, listen, things are just getting more dangerous. It doesn't guarantee that there's a crash coming. It just means it's more dangerous. And I think the best thing to do right now is to de-risk a little bit. Lock in some of those profits or prepare some cash to buy the dip if you're not comfortable or in a position to be able to take profits right now. So that's kind of where I am with it. And I know it might not be the thing you want to hear, but remember, my goal on this YouTube channel is not to tell you what you want to hear, it's to tell you what you need to hear. And what you need to hear is that right now, it is just getting more dangerous. And don't get me wrong. Look, again, look what happened back here. We could see XLM continue this run up towards 85 cents in this move that we're in right now. But the truth is that it is just going to be more and more risky going forward over the next 3 days than over the last 3 days. And you need to adjust your strategy to take that into consideration. That's all I'm saying, okay? So what am I going to do? I'm taking a little bit of profit off the table, off XLM right now. I'm taking a little bit of profit off the table for HBAR right now. We were doing buys in this green zone for XLM for throughout this entire year. So all of these purchases that we made, say for right here, for example, guys, these things are up 100%. It's great to lock in some profit. I know hundreds of you who are also doing buys on XLM in this green zone. It's a good time to take a little profit. HBAR, we were doing buys right here. We were doing buys right here. Good time to take a little profit. Just de-risk a little bit. Now that this move has gone euphoric and the bears are starting to show signs of strength. Okay. And now I'm not taking all my profit. I'm not selling even, I wouldn't even say I'm selling a lot. I'm selling a good bit, but I'm not selling a lot. And the reason that I say that is because, again, in the long term, I still think it's well within reason that XLM one day will break through this golden zone, for example, and push up to 85 cents or $1.26. I think that's going to happen. So I'm not selling all of my XLM right here. That's not a good idea. I'm just locking in some profits now that I know the dangers here. Because what that could look like is this, maybe a pullback, and then it goes sideways, and then we make that run. So, of course, I'd rather lock in a little bit of profit right here before taking on the risk of seeing some sort of pullback. Or I guess if you're a long term holder, you could just hold and not lock any profit. I think that's also fine as well. So, that's kind of my update right now. TLDR, long story short, both of them were in a descending channel. They broke out. Now they're going up to the big decision making zone. As they're approaching the decision making zone, we're starting to get some early signs that the bears are taking control, which could be a signal that momentum is being lost by the bulls. So, because of that, I'm taking a little bit of profit off the table, but I'm leaving a good bit of my position in just in case the day does come where we break through this golden zone, because I still think there's a lot of gains ahead of us. It might just take us some time to get there. Okay. So that's my TLDR for the day. And that's where I am with XLM and XRP. Look, the best thing for me to do as a YouTuber right now, to be honest, guys, while everybody is excited, is to be like, buy, bullish, 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 pump, 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 all time high banana zone, right? That's what a lot of people want. But I would rather get less views, less subscribers, less likes to tell you the truth, which is that things are getting more risky right now. So it's best to de risk just a little bit. We did a bunch of buying. Now it's time to de risk a bit and let it play out. And so if that upsets you, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just not the channel for you. But if you do understand what I'm getting at, I think you'll really appreciate it. And so, with that said, if you guys have been enjoying all the content recently, please do let me know by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel. And don't forget, I do have an Instagram, which I'll link down below. I post extra analysis over there every day, every single day, multiple videos. So feel free to go follow me over there. Shoot me a DM. I'll try to respond to it if I can. And I hope you guys are having an absolutely fantastic weekend. See you later, everybody.